Walking into the padded radio room off Stockdale Highway, Kyle Jones from Law Offices of Kyle Jones. Specializing in personal injury, medical malpractice, estate planning, forming a corporation, an LLC, whatever, S-Corp, whatever you want to set up. If you've been involved in a personal injury accident or even an accident with no personal injury, there's got to be something that people can do or like a checklist of some sort. You know, Kyle, you've shared that with me before, but can we discuss that on how to preserve your rights? And
yeah, and that's kind of what I want to focus on is what are some first steps that you want to take. And these are really important now because I don't know if anyone's been in an auto accident here in the Bakersfield area recently, but unless you're impaled by a phone pole, you're not going to get the BPD or the sheriff or the CHP out there to take a report.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
I know, but here's why it's important and why it's unfortunate. Because you go to the scene, you're involved in an accident, it's not your fault. Other driver gets out, I apologize, I ran that red light, I'm sorry, you okay, your back hurts, whatever, you have some minor injuries. Cops won't come out and take a report because there's no injuries. You exchange insurance information, you go about your way. Well, 2-3 days go by, you have more serious injury, you decide to make a claim. And that guy all of a sudden takes back, says, I'm sorry, and then tells the insurance company that, he doesn't know what happened, going through the intersection, next thing you know, your car's there, and there was an accident. And, you give a statement, well, no, I had a green light, the guy ran a red light, he admitted to it, but, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, that third-party insurance carrier, they have to protect their insured. So if he's telling them that, hey, he doesn't know what happened, absent an investigation, they're going to have to take his side. So not recently, but over the last 6 months or so, when these reports aren't being written as often, we're having a lot of what looks to be clear liability accidents turn into disputed liability.
Sure.
And it's just because the insurance company has to go by with what their insured is telling them. So unless there's some, really independent, if they say, I was T-boned and the insurance company goes out and looks at the car and it looks like his front smashed in and my car's, the rear is completely smashed in. It's an obvious rear end. Then they may ignore his statements and go ahead and pay on the policy. But if there's any, dispute that could reasonably be made from what their insured's saying, they're going to go with him. So it's very important to get information down, witness information, and try to be as not I don't want to say forceful, but if there are a technician at the scene for the BPD or CHP, or get a report. Say, look, I need a report. It is for my insurance company. We want to make sure we have clear issues of liability.
You mean request it from whoever's there?
Whoever's there, right.
The police might be there, but doesn't mean they're going to make a report of it.
Right. As soon as they determine that there's really no significant injuries, they have better things to do. And I understand that. I'm not faulting them for that. It's just that it's something that you really want to have, and they're not being done recently. And so it's important to ask. If not, document everything you can. Write down statements that the other driver may have said. Get witness information. If there's a car behind you that happened to see it, get their name and number, because you'll never know when you may need to depose them or have them as part of your case.
Right.
All right, we're talking to Kyle Jones from the Law Offices of Kyle Jones. If you have a question, feel free to call at 842-5376. That's 842-KERN. Matter of fact, let's go to the phone lines. Let's talk to Kelly. How you doing, Kelly?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
I have a quick question for Kyle.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm wanting to know about the insurance. What if I don't know if the other party has insurance?
Well, if they don't have it on them at the time of the accident?
Correct, right.
Well, that's actually a good question. Everyone out there driving should have insurance. That is the law. But to be prepared for that, you should have what we call uninsured and underinsured coverage. Okay, what that means is if you're in an accident through no fault of your own, and that person who is responsible for the accident does not carry insurance, you can actually go after your own insurance to be compensated for the medical bills, the pain and suffering, lost wages, etc. But if you don't have that policy, you're stuck with going after someone who probably doesn't have a pot to piss in, so to speak. So you're going to end up paying the bills yourself. So it's important to have that as part of your insurance coverage.
Okay. And
That answer your question?
Yeah, and also, will it go against me on my own insurance if I end up having to do that?
No, another good follow-up. No, it does not. It's a no-fault provision, so it's strictly there for reasons for the other person not having insurance or being underinsured.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right. It's not like filing a claim for if you're at fault in an accident.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's different.